Ugh. Okay, it's been 7 and a bit days, so let's do the thing. With Jenna Coleman leaving the TARDIS for potentially the last time, the role of companion has now been passed over to Pearl Mackie to ride alongside Peter Capaldi's version of the Time Lord in the new series. I'm not too sure exactly when the new series is starting. I believe there'll be a Christmas special and then the new series will start in 2017. They did a nice little introduction of the character as they're running away from down darkened corridors being chased by Daleks, so it felt very familiar. I'm not too sure about the character yet. You can't really judge it on one scene. But there's an element of Ace in there for me, which I like. My only problem with a character that is constantly belittling the threats, it can be a little bit frustrating. I'm sure the character will come into her own in due course, but yeah, I'm excited and interested. It's a nice direction for the show to go in. She's obviously a very talented young lady if you look at her CV and that. So yeah, I'm very hopeful. But yeah, so moving on. Ratchet and Clank is an animated movie based on the PlayStation series of game platformers that have been across most of the PlayStation consoles. For those unfamiliar with the concept, it's a little bit hard to explain. It involves a young plucky hero called Ratchet who befriends a small intelligent little robot called Clank, and they're in a universe of multiple planets and multiple aliens, and there's a very heroic Captain Kirk type hero, and there are quite a few bad guys. The film itself is probably aimed at fans of Ratchet and Clank. It's plot-wise, it's quite pedestrian. It's an introduction of the heroes to the world, and while the animation is nice to look at, it's nothing more than a straight to DVD type quality. It's not going to be giving Pixar or DreamWorks any worries. The voice work is pretty solid from the regular voices of the games, as well as the addition of Paul Giamatti and Sly Stallone. There is one joke that I found myself really laughing at, and I think was one of only two people who laughed at it. And there's a couple of bits for fans of the game, and that. But in terms of the humour, in terms of the plotting, it's not going to entertain anyone above sort of 6 or 7. It's mildly diverting at best. But yeah, if you have to take the kids to go and see one animated movie this week, then that's probably your only real choice. Florence Foster Jenkins is the new film by Stephen Frears. It tells the true-ish story of a New York heiress who, in her latter years, decides to become a singer. And unfortunately, she can't sing. She can't hit a single note. But that didn't stop her, partly due to her husband supporting every whim and paying off anyone who might say anything negative about her. It stars Meryl Streep and Hugh Grant, and it's a likeable little drama with a hint of comedy that looks at this lady who is almost because of illness is almost looking at death on a potentially daily basis. So she's put into this bubble by her husband and those around her to protect her and make everything wonderful. There's a little bit of not quite fast, but there's a very light tone to it all. It looks gorgeous. While set in New York, it's film. It was made in the UK, and that's quite obvious when a few of the supporting actors will be very familiar to people who've seen anything from British TV for the last 20 or 30 years. It's a sort of film I'd say is a nice gentle Sunday afternoon watch. You can guarantee that if you're going to see the cinema, there'll be quite a few older people there, and that's great because I think that there should be a diversity of films. So it shouldn't just be the loud explodey things. It's nice. It's a little bit kind of you could feel the story has been kind of compressed into fitting within a nice running time. But yeah, earplugs might be beneficial for Streep singing, but it's still better than Pierce Brosnan's was in Mamma Mia. True. Son of Saul is a fascinating and utterly gripping drama. It takes place during the Second World War in a death camp in Auschwitz, and it follows Saul through his time in the camp. It starts off very grimly and continues to be one of the most downbeat, shocking and miserable films, but equally beautiful in its execution, for lack of a better word. It's shot by the director in a 4:3 ratio, and the camera barely leaves Saul's face. It's almost taken purely from his perspective, and it's a very nice technique because while everything else is going around him, including the sounds and people talking and events, you're never given exact ideas of things for a lot of it. Just just going along with him for his journey, and it's completely hypnotic in terms of the way it's done, the direction, the sound, the performances. I can't remember the last time I've sat there and watched a film without blinking for so long. I didn't notice the time go by. I think it's already won quite a few awards. I think even Best Foreign Academy Award. But it's one of those few films where I think every single award is well deserved. So Rollrick is it's his first film. He is not a professional actor, but you would not know that. He plays Saul with such sort of bold, sort of bare humanity. I mean, his face just. Because I think partly because he's an unfamiliar face, you can't see where the story is going to go. You know, if it was a Tom Cruise role or someone like that, you could see where things are going. But everything is working. It's working through his eyes and his experiences, and he's not a perfect hero. He's fallible. I can't say enough wonderful things about this film. It's not going to be for everyone. It's not going to be the sort of thing you're going to see everywhere. I mean, this is a week where the Captain America Civil War's out, so you'd be lucky to find a screen showing anything other than the Marvel's latest. But as a complete counterpoint to that sort of film, you can't ask for anything better. It's just outstanding. It makes you realise how humanity has always found a way to inflict suffering on each other for absolutely insane reasons. And you know, if only the Auschwitz was the last time that happened. Okay, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Please like and share and tell your friends, enemies, second cousins, third cousins, grandparents, godchildren, nieces, nephews. The whole family should be watching this show by now. You can follow me on Twitter at MyCircleBrain. I've got a Facebook page, and a link to my blog should be below. So until next time, thanks for watching and laters.